I think the last thing that I know, one thing we want to pick up on here, and this can kind of manifest itself in a bunch of different ways on the policy. So this is, I'd say, not our contractor's job to be on the lookout for this, but yours and ours
Yeah.
is a class code exclusion, right? And that's one that's kind of sneaky because once again, it's a client first world, right?
Yep.
And so you might be a roofer or an HVAC contractor or a framer, but if your client asks you to do something real quick that's outside of that box, and you do it, and there's a claim from it, then there's no coverage, right? A class code limitation says I'm only going to pay for claims that arise. If you're a plumber, if you're not plumbing, there's no coverage,
Yeah, and it
right?
specifically says in that limitation exclusion,
Mm-hmm.
there's only coverage for the class code listed on the declarations page and
Yep.
nothing else. I mean, that's specific language, and so, and when you look at that class code, if it's plumbing, then you have coverage for plumbing,
Mm-hmm.
but not if you go and do framing work or siding
So
or
it's
anything other than plumbing.
I'm literally dealing with a claim right now where a general contractor who remodels apartments, and he uses all supervisors, but it's one of his good apartment. They're doing a renovation for it, and they had a busted handrail, and so he went out and just did a quick welding job, quick soldering job to kind of fix that for him, and there's a fire. Right, he's a general contractor. There's no welding class code. There's no hot work class code on his policy, right? But
Right.
luckily, he doesn't have a class code limitation on there. And so even though he's doing something that they would never expect him to do, and
Right.
that's where the claim pops up, there's still coverage. And you've seen enough claims. It's amazing how often the claims pop up on the stuff that is in the 1% of the operations, not the
Yep.
99% of the operations. Because let's be honest, if you're a plumber, you probably know how to do your job.
Right.
And now we can talk about we won't go to rabbit hole. But anyway, it's going to be when you start helping clients out. That's kind of when I personally tend to see a lot of claims happen. So that class code
Yeah.
limitation is something that may seem like a small deal, but can turn into a pretty big one.
Yeah, and it's not. You would think it wouldn't be something that common that people would look, but I mean, we had one just recently that you and I are working on that we had a situation, an HVAC contractor, but they also do plumbing,
Mm-hmm.
and not it may be a small percentage of their revenue, but
Mm-hmm.
still could be six-figure jobs, clear as day, HVAC only, no plumbing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's if you're talking about a six-figure job and you have no plumbing coverage,
Yep.
water travels fast.
Yeah.
Path of least resistance. I mean, it's going to cause damage, and so that's one of those that can cause some serious and